airs tonight and will feature two star athletes who have been under the microscope for recent trade demands. Anthony Davis and Antonio Brown. In a teaser clip from tonight's episode, LeBron, AB, and AD discuss the backlash they face. Let's take a listen.
Once you're doing your own thing, it's like, yo, this guy a distraction, he this type of guy. All I ever been was a guy who came from Central Michigan, 6th round, who worked his ass off. That's all you know what I'm saying?
6th round.
Yeah.
How about that?
3 contracts later, you know, I'm milking the game.
And now he a distraction. Yeah. All of a sudden, I mean, it's the same that's going with AD right now. I mean, AD's been in the league. This show was your seventh year? 7 years in the league. Nobody's ever said anything. No media, not a fan, not a friend, nobody has ever said anything negative about AD. But you can tell when the narrative change, when you don't do what they want you to do.
The entire episode of The Shop airs tonight, 10:30 on HBO.
I'll be watching that right after the Laker game.
Yeah.
They should have me on the shop.
You know what? They should have you on the show. I applaud that.
Okay.
Come on, LeBron.
All right, that would be interesting. Shannon.
Yes.
Do you agree with LeBron's?
Not completely. Because AB is being disingenuous. AB is not telling the true story. Now, that doesn't mean that he's not without fault, and that doesn't mean that he's not telling the truth about what transpired with Ben Roethlisberger and Kevin Colbert, because Kevin Colbert kind of echoed that, listen to Ben is above you guys. We got a separate set of rules for Ben. But let me ask you a question, Skip. When Antonio Brown was a 6th round draft pick, was he on Facebook Live? After they have a big
there
week?
was a Facebook Live.
Was he, in his first 3 years, did Antonio Brown do any of the things he did once he became, you notice I said, Jenny, I said Antonio Brown. Once he became AB. See, so AB is...
Are you talking about Mr. Big Chest?
Old Big Chest, old Big Chest Brown. Oh, that's what they call him, old Big Chest Brown. See, once he became that, and Kevin Colbert also said, they need to do a better job of handling Le'Veon and AB while they're coming up, because once they get the superstar status, remember I told you that, Skip, you train, and please don't take this the wrong way, guys. It's like when you have a puppy and you're trying to raise him, you let him know that going in the house, pottying in the house is unacceptable.
You do?
You don't wait till he gets 3, 4 years old to try to, no, you shouldn't do that.
Sure.
No, you do that young.
Did you hear that, Hazel? Did you hear that? Did you hear what Shannon Sharp just said? Hazel still doesn't quite.
She doesn't quite get it.
Hazel.
Hazel got spoiled more by her mom than her dad.
I was
but
gonna
that's a whole
say.
other issue.
Now,
Go ahead.
I will agree
Sorry.
with him on AD because I believe, I was told that they made it abundantly clear to Dale Demps that AD would not be re-signing the contract extension this summer, and he wanted to move, he wanted to get traded. AD is giving up a lot of money. He made it very clear. Money is not the most important thing to him. Legacy is. He wanted to go to a situation. He's like, I give you 7 years. How many more years you got? Won't. He want to go to a situation that he can win consistently and compete for a championship. But Dale didn't run that up the flagpole because he saw how good AD was playing and how he was interacting with his teammates. AD gonna be happy. We let this thing play out. And so AD had to take matters into his own hands, make it public. Then, because see, what if the team wanted to trade AD? Would AD have been selfish? I don't know how organizations worth billions, Skip, have tricked the fans that they'll always do what's in the best interest of the team, and if a player ever does something that's not in the best interest of the team, they're being disloyal. I never understood that. AD says, I just want to win. He talked to Kevin Garnett. Kevin Garnett's probably one of the best examples, Skip, because he was in Minnesota. And he stayed there, and he said it. I stayed longer than probably what I should have, out of loyalty. Had no chance of winning. Only went to the Western Conference Final once, and I think it was in 2004, and lost to the Shaq and Kobe-led Lakers. He said, I should have made this decision a lot earlier. The only difference, Skip, now, and what used to be before free agency became to what it is, guys are not waiting until they're past their prime to go link up and try to win titles. You saw Charles Barkley move late in his career. You saw Karl Malone move late in his career. You see a lot of guys.
You never saw Jordan, but go ahead. Well, you do. You don't. You never did.
This is not about a Jordan. You know what's good. But anyway, as I was saying, is that guys...
You think they'll ever have Jordan on the shop?
What he gonna cut? He ain't got nothing to cut. He's bald head. He been bald head since '84.
I can say that about a lot of guys who've sat in those chairs.
No, LeBron James, look at it, got a head full of hair. Head full of hair. Look at that thing.
You sure about that?
Yeah, he do. Look at that thing dark too. Look at that beard. Oh! But anyway, I was saying, Skip, baby, before I was interrupted, all I'm saying is this. Anthony Davis, he tried to handle it in a certain way.
Yep.
And because now Anthony Davis no longer wants to play for a team, he's selfish, he's disloyal. And I have a problem with that.
Okay, I got it. So I have loved what I've seen so far from the shop because I love the energy of it. I love the depth of it. I love where LeBron and Maverick take people in it. But the shop is missing one real component from a real barbershop, and that is a dissenting voice, a naysayer, a fire starter.
Oh, you should be in there.
I should be in there. I would work in that.
You would do well.
Because that guy always serves in a real barbershop as kind of the objective moderator of it,
Yes.
because he's going to say, hey, wait a second.
What about?
Right?
Yes.
And then it just escalates. Then it goes up to DEFCON 7, right? And everybody's going crazy, and hopefully everybody agrees to disagree and just goes on about it, right? Okay, because somebody needed to say, wait a second, Antonio, what about the Facebook Live after you had just won a playoff game at Kansas City, a big win?
What about not showing up for Week 17?
Thank you very much. What about the constant feuding with your quarterback, Ben Roethlisberger?
Or
what about
throwing
the Gatorade or whatever it was, the cooler onto the field? Or, dare I have to bring this up, what about the 2 alarming off-field incidents that you've had? No huge, but they're alarming, right? Alarming. So nobody did that but you. You brought that upon yourself, right?
Correct.
So when you say, Antonio says, that's the narrative they try to create once you're doing your own thing. No, nobody tried to create it. You created your own narrative.
Skip, it's kind of hard to do your own thing in a team sport.
Okay.
Tiger can do his own thing. Serena can do her own thing in an individual sport. When you're in a team sport, it's hard to do your own thing.
Especially in football.
Yes.
Maybe you can in basketball a little bit more than football. Maybe a little bit more. Which brings me to poor Anthony Davis, who's sitting there, and then LeBron brings it up, and he brings up the same point about Anthony